Hi there everybody. After a long time off, I finally returned to iRacing. And in this race we're in the Cayman Gt4 and we're at Sebring for a 30-minute race. I must admit I haven't qualified brilliantly here. I think I'm down in about 11th. But let's see what happens during the race. Okay, so we're about to go and we're off. So I think my first sort of thing is to avoid any pile-ups going into this beginning section here. So just trying to stay back a bit, take it quite easy into this first corner. Whoa, and the guy ahead of me has completely lost it, so I'm going to have to back right out of there. And lost a whole load of places as loads of people have gone past. And oh, like literal carnage ahead of me. Let's just try to get through it. So we got through that. I don't know what position that puts me in now though. Not ideal. But I think we'll just push on and see if we can catch the guys ahead. So slightly under pressure from the guys behind me. Ultimately my plan would be to catch up the cars ahead. I'm slightly out of their slipstream range though, unfortunately. So this guy behind I've got to be really careful on. I still haven't quite got the hang of this car. It seems to have like some level of ABS and traction control on. Sometimes it's hard to know whether turning the dial up or down makes this better. I've heard some people say that putting on 11 actually makes it weaker, and some people say putting on 1 makes it weaker. So I've currently got it about 6 or 7, somewhere in the middle. So one thing I'm just doing, just going into the first corner here, so I've just put my brake bias back a bit just to try to mitigate the tyres still being quite cold. Whoa, this guy has gone very wide up ahead of us. But the good thing is we are catching that group. So somehow we're actually, I think, up to 9th, which I'm surprised by because I thought a lot of cars got past us on the start when we were avoiding all the accidents, but maybe not. Okay, right on these guys now. I don't know how easy it is to pass here, so we'll just stay close and see what happens. Ooh, that guy braked slightly earlier than I expected and he's just run a little bit wide. Didn't get any penalty points, so I'm not actually sure if I actually touched him there or whether he kind of out-braked himself, so that's good for us anyway. One more place up. So fine with this car, probably for the first 3 or 4 laps the tyres don't really heat up very quickly, and you can kind of get understeer in some of the fast corners and actually quite a lot of oversteer on the exit of a lot of corners, so you have to be really careful with your throttle inputs and how kind of aggressive that you attack some of the corners initially. It's like on that corner there, it kind of washed quite wide as I turned in. And that's just demonstrated by the guy ahead of us. Clearly he got on the throttle and the back just slipped away, so just shows you the tyres are definitely not up to temp yet.
That's 20 minutes to go, 20 minutes.
So it's saying now we're up to 7th. So obviously I saw that guy go off. I'm not sure if I saw anybody else go off. But that's... Oh, of course, yeah, we passed the blue car as well, didn't we? So yeah, that's good. Good move initially. Ooh. So that was slightly not ideal. Kind of went in a bit fast, and then when I got on the brakes, it kind of pushed the car out wide. So I need to watch that next time. So I do find with the ABS on and everything else that I'm struggling under the brakes. Doesn't seem to brake as well as I'd expect it to. I don't know if that's the setting on the ABS or my pedals or just how I'm driving the car, whether I'm just making ABS engage too much, but that's something that I need to learn as time goes on. So I'm just watching these cars ahead. Hopefully they may do a bit of a battle, and that'll give us some chance to catch them up. Equally, the car behind is still less than a second away, so I have to be quite careful not to make any mistakes to let him catch. Quite a hard corner, that one. I find it slightly understeers, and then right at the last moment when you're running out of road, if you get on the throttle, it sort of twitches all over the place. So definitely a corner that I think you've got to get right quite early on, get a good exit, and then power through. This corner as well, I'm finding, as you can see there, sometimes it can understeer massively. It's almost like the ABS kicks in on the bumps, and then you just lose all front end grip. So unfortunately that's let the guy behind us catch us up a bit, and it's let these cars ahead just get away. Not ideal. So the guy up ahead's just going for a pass on the car. Still side by side. Good thing is that's probably slowing both of them down, just giving us a bit of an opportunity to close the gap. Right, can we get through here? Nope. So where they were fighting each other, I was just hoping there was an opportunity for us to slip through as well. Unfortunately, it's let the guy right behind me get all over me, so I've got to go super defensive. So my best time in this car is, I think, a 2:10. My optimum time is like a 2:09. So obviously we've got quite a lot of fuel at the moment, but it definitely feels like I'm slightly off the pace. So that's quite a good example there of, like, I was on the brakes and the car ahead of me sort of shot towards me, suggesting that when he braked, his car seemed to brake a lot better than mine did. So I think there's definitely something either in the brake bias, the ABS settings, or my pedal settings that is causing me not to brake as well as others. Oh. So he kind of took a very shallow line, which sort of put me off my entry to that corner there, unfortunately. For a second there I thought I was going to hit him, so I had to sort of bail out of the corner, which let me go a lot wider and didn't let me really carry the apex very well. So just have to watch out for that. Once again, he's got a different line than me here, so I had to sort of get off the throttle where it would have been nice to carry the speed through there.
15 minutes left.
So on the whole, I do quite like this Cayman GT4. It's not got as much power as the Porsche GT3 Cup car, and and it sort of handles quite differently. It handles more kind of neutral in its balance, so it doesn't quite oversteer as much as the Cup car does. Tends to kind of want to understeer slightly depending on your setup and the tyres, but so far I feel like it gives quite good racing. Everybody sort of can race quite closely together and actually race quite cleanly, so I'm kind of hoping this will be a new favourite car now that the Ferrari GT3 series ended. Not really been a fan of the BMW series that much. I find that car feels like it's got far too many assists on it, and just, yeah, I just don't really enjoy driving it. So we're still very much under pressure from the guy behind, so we've really got to be careful about making a mistake, but it would be nice to get past these cars ahead, because I do feel like we're probably slightly quicker than them. Oh, once again, he's sort of put me off my line. Oh, and actually, oh, damn, that is not good. So I've understeered into the barrier there, and I think I've probably definitely got damage. So yeah, not great. Hopefully the car isn't damaged too much. Feels a bit more skittish than it did before, which is not good. Unfortunately, he just sort of gave me nowhere really to go. I sort of should have expected it, because I know he kind of did the same last time, but you kind of want to commit to that corner and just carry the speed through. So yeah, the car definitely doesn't feel as good as it did. Sort of feeling a bit more skittish in the middle of the corner, and almost like the front left suspension's broken or something. So it feels like the cars ahead are starting to pull away, and I've just got to be really careful on the cars behind not to let them catch up too much. Yeah, so on the brakes, the car seems to be rotating a lot more now. Almost like it's a lot more unstable on the rear. At the moment we're still 8th, so not too bad. If we can try to finish in this position, that'd be good. God, the car's completely understeering through that corner now. Really not a good situation to be in. And yeah, it's let the cars get away even further, and looks like the guy behind us is catching. I've just tried putting the brake bias back a little bit further to see if that helps with some of the understeer.
Left, 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, the car's just not as stable as it was. Can't really get on the throttle like you could. It sort of twitches around now. So I don't know what's gone on with the car ahead of us. We've definitely gained on him there. I don't know if he's made a mistake, potentially. So he's 1.5 seconds ahead. Guess we can see if we can try to catch him, or whether he now just pulls away.
Behind is now 2.4.
So I'm going to try braking a lot earlier for this now, just to try to combat some of that understeer. Get a better exit out of here. Yeah, that seemed better. So we have closed the gap a little bit to this car ahead of us, but whoa! And then he's just completely lost it. So we were definitely gaining on him. Whether he had damage, I don't know. But yeah, he's just binned it. So that's good. Hopefully we should be back up to 7th. So one of the cool things with iRacing these days is that they actually have full day-night cycle transitions. So you can see that the start of the race was actually quite light, and it's slowly getting darker and darker. The sky's kind of darkening, and actually we should end up in pitch black by the end of this race, I think. Finding that corner, now the car is kind of feeling a bit broken, is particularly bad. It's almost a bump in the middle of the corner, it just completely unsettles the car. Ooh, just pushed quite wide there. That's definitely going to let the guy behind us catch. He's catching quite quickly now. He's down to about a second behind us, which is really not ideal. I think we'll either have to go really defensive or just let him pass so that we don't get any more damage. Our lap times are in 2:13s, which is really quite off the pace. Like our best in this race, I think it's been a 2:11. But as I said earlier, I think my best lap times are well in the 2:10s. And I have an optimal of like 2:09. So in the best case, if I tied all my best sectors together, that would be in the 2:09s. So yeah, we're really off the pace here. Okay, the guy behind us now down to half a second, so you'll start getting a bit of a slipstream off us if it stays like that on the straights.
The gap behind is now 0.6.
It's just completely understeering in some places and then oversteering in others.
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left. Okay, Paul, don't let this guy distract you.
I don't know whether the damage is also affecting our top end speed, because you can see the guy behind us is just completely pulling on us. Completely gained massive amounts down there. So I've got a bit of a dilemma whether I just let him through. Might be better than trying to fight him and just ending up more damage. He caught us so quickly there that if he's just ahead, we can just hopefully stay in his slipstream. I don't know how he'd have read those flashes, but I was trying to say just go for it. I'm not going to try to fight him. Staying with him quite nicely. Sometimes find that it's easier to follow a car than it is to be the lead car. Obviously you get a bit of slipstream when you're behind somebody, but you can kind of follow their braking points as well.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
I think if we can finish 8th, that's not a bad result really, all things considered. Obviously we'll try to do whatever we can do if we make up any more spaces. Definitely find this corner is quite a slow in, fast out corner. If you go in too deep, it kind of affects the whole rest of the section of track. Although saying it, that section also is a bit like that and I messed that up, so not ideal. He's getting away a bit. I think there's probably a bit of a knack to driving this car. I don't know whether it's setup related or settings. I've noticed that the really quick guys are really fast in this car. I'm not quite sure what their secret is at the moment. Fortunately, we're just letting him get away now. Into that a little bit too shallow. And pushing out really wide there on that, not ideal. Good thing at the moment is that the guy behind us is 3.4 seconds away, so hopefully we don't have to go too defensive. Okay, the good thing is it looks like the guy ahead's just caught up another car, so that might actually bring them both closer to us. I don't know if one of them has damage though.
The gap in front is now 1.7 seconds.
So I'm keeping my eye on them just in case they have a fight and end up making contact, so I don't end up running into them, but equally I'm just going to try to close that gap if I can, if they're slowing each other up. Okay, got them down to 1.5 ahead, so we're definitely gaining slightly. Actually looks like the car's going to go for a pass on him. He's got that done quite easily. So yeah, it looks potentially like the car ahead of us has actually lost its rear wing. Onto the final lap, so I don't know if we can do anything here. Let's see if we can catch either of these cars, but preferably the guy that has no rear wing.
The gap behind's increased to 4.5 seconds.
Close this gap down to 1.1 at the moment, so see if we can close it a little bit more before the end of the lap. It's a good sign that it looks like they might be having a bit of a battle. I'll definitely slow them both down a bit. Just need to get my braking right here. Yeah, nice. Down to 0.7 ahead. Might have a real opportunity here.
You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 0.4.
In an ideal world, they'd take each other out, but I'm just going to look for any opportunity I can get. Obviously, my car isn't in the best of conditions either. Get a nice exit out here. So we definitely gain on him. The problem is our car doesn't exactly turn in brilliantly into this corner at the moment either. He's pushed a bit wide. Can we get the cut back a bit? It's a bit bumpy to get on the power. Whoa, it's completely sliding. I think in this situation we might just have to settle for 8th. But one more lap would have definitely got him. So overall, not a bad race. If we hadn't have smashed into the wall on lap about 5 or 6, we definitely would have had a chance to probably get 6th at least, maybe even 5th. So quite a good car, quite fun to drive. Kind of looking forward to racing in this a bit more. And hopefully making videos a bit more regularly again. Apologies for the fact that I haven't made a video for about 3 months. Just had different things going on in my life. Not really had the chance. But anyway, as usual, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks all.